We have another Pepperdine University graphic journalist, Henry Adams, on the phone with us now. Oh, we have you in on Zoom. Hi, welcome, Henry. Thank you for being here this morning.
Yeah, hi, how's it going?
Well, probably better than you. Can you describe for me what?
It's been a crazy night.
Yeah, describe
And
it
morning,
for
I
me.
suppose. I haven't slept at all since the fire broke out, so I've just been following everything. Luckily, I'm off campus, so I've been safe from the fire, and we've just gotten word just a couple minutes ago that Pepperdine's just lifted their shelter-in-place orders for students, so everyone who's on campus there is now free to return to their dorms, luckily. But yeah, I've been hearing from friends that have been stuck in the library, stuck in the caf all night. It's just been very exhausting. A lot of anxiety, a lot of fear. Just like seeing the fires is obviously a very scary sight to see in person.
Yeah.
Um,
Are you
so
in Malibu? You're off campus. Are you in an apartment in Malibu or are you out of town somewhere?
yeah, luckily I'm about a half hour north of Malibu in Oak Park now. So
Okay.
yeah,
And this must be quite the experience as a student journalist for you. You're learning on the job right now, huh?
yeah, definitely.
What are you hearing from your friends and teachers and things about how the night went? Can you describe it for us?
A lot of people just, I think at this point, and I'm glad now that they've just lifted the shelter in place, but a lot of people just really wanted to go to bed because, they're stuck in the library, not really somewhere you can get a lot of sleep, especially with all this going on. How can you sleep anyways? But other than that, I mean, a lot of students are definitely at least relieved that finals were canceled. That was definitely the right move on Pepperdine's part, doing that, because, I mean, how can we take exams right now, like on a day like this? So, there's that at least. So
Yeah, that seems to be the sentiment
Yeah.
when we speak to students there. But obviously,
yeah.
this is a really serious situation. People are losing their homes. I don't know if you've seen any of those images where these homes have burned down. And talk about living in Malibu. Obviously, you're off campus now, but as a student at Pepperdine, you're in the middle of a very unique area in terms of being a college town.
Yeah, definitely. And being in a place like Malibu that's historically had a lot of wildfires, especially in recent memory back in 2018 during Woolsey Fire, this is just always something that I feel like we're all anticipating, and now it's like actually happened. So it's like, I guess, yeah, it's always just a reminder that this kind of stuff does still happen. So very scary, and it's the kind of place where you don't really have anywhere to go except for PCH, and you can't really, for a little while, you can really do much about that, driving off campus. So.
Well, can you talk about, the school does go through a lot of preparation. Do they talk about these types of things? Or, we heard from another student who said they asked her to get a go bag together just last night. Is this a topic of conversation that the student body talks about?
I mean, yeah, definitely. We definitely are somewhat prepared, just given that it's happened in the past. The last time they had to do a shelter in place was 2018, so none of the current undergraduate students have had to go through something like this. But it's always kind of in the back of our minds of like, okay, fire could happen, might have to go. Just last month there was one. It was only about 50 acres burned before the fire department was able to snuff it out. And Bluffs Park, just across from Malibu campus of Pepperdine, was a fire that everyone could see on campus, and that was immediately, everyone was scared that Pepperdine was gonna have a whole thing like we're having today. So that's very unfortunate, but.
Yeah, the threat is ever present, right? You know that living in Malibu. Have you ever personally experienced anything like this before? Are you from Southern California?
I'm not personally from Southern California, no, but my older sister was a Pepperdine undergrad during the Woolsey Fire back in 2018. So, I'm from Pennsylvania, so we were over on the East Coast, corresponding with her, making sure, she evacuated before they did the shelter-in-place orders back then, 6 years ago. So this is something that I've always kind of come to expect, but yeah, yeah.
Well, if I'm your parents, I don't know how I feel about the situation. I do want to go ahead and just dive in. You guys got an email about the shelter-in-place protocol being lifted. However, Pepperdine is saying they'd like the community is strongly encouraged to remain on campus and stay off Malibu roads. as first responders continue to respond to the fire as well. Power does remain out too for much of the campus area. Are you hearing about that as well? Are people concerned
Yeah.
about that aspect?
Yeah, definitely concern about just people's phones dying. I mean, for one, and again, with finals being canceled, it's good because people's laptops don't necessarily have enough charge to continue working on what they would need to do to prepare for that. I mean, much less go to class at all, I guess, during these times. But yeah, definitely a cause for concern there.
So I know you've been doing your journalism thing. You've been posting pictures all night. You've been talking to the students who are on campus sheltering in place. What kind of questions are you asking as someone who is so intimately involved with the campus, who knows the area, and who commutes in every day on PCH, I assume?
I've just been checking in on people and making sure they're all good. Checking in on seeing where they're at. I've had a lot of friends that managed to evacuate before the shelter-in-place orders were put in place. So that was good for them, so they could maybe get a little bit of rest tonight if they weren't, anxiously watching the news all night like I've been. Just making sure everybody's safe, and it seems Pepperdine's doing a very good job with that. So.
Well, that's good to hear. Henry Adams, thank you so much for being with us this morning. We really appreciate it, and good luck with all your studies.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Artina Patel has been